Start up this meeting. Good afternoon, evening, whatever time it is here, and just check your cell phones if you wouldn't mind, and make sure they're turned off or turned down at least. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. This is November 25th, 2025, Hardin County Fiscal Court regular voting meeting. Let's begin and call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Squire Clem.
Here.
Squire Hicks.
Here.
Squire Muse.
Here.
Squire Pennington.
Here.
Squire Saltzman.
Here.
Squire Thompson.
Here.
Squire Whitehead.
Here.
Squire Yates.
Here.
Judge Tall.
Here. Next, we'll have our invocation by Magistrate Saltzman and Pledge of Allegiance, Magistrate Whitehead.
Father God, we thank you for this day that you've given us, that we can be here. Father, we pray that you would help us to do the business for the county, to glorify you. Father, we thank you for our families. We thank you for our citizens here in Hardin County. We thank you for our first responders, our military. Father, we just pray that you would bless them and their families in this time of Thanksgiving. And we just ask all of these things in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Again, thanks for joining us today. It's great to see all of you here and those that are watching on TV or streaming online, whatever. Acknowledge our sheriffs in here. We have Sheriff Ward, and we have the mayor from West Point, Mayor Cerisi. Thanks for being here this evening. So let's review the agenda. It's pretty typical tonight, and it is, we'll go through the minutes from the last meeting. We will have a couple of presentations. We have a time of citizens' concerns or comments. We have one resolution to discuss and vote on. And then after that, we have the consent agenda that has several items in it that I'll review before we vote on it. After that, just a time of comments, and then we'll adjourn. So that's the agenda for our meeting today. All right. I just wanted to make one comment to note that this Saturday is Small Business Saturday. Was able to, there were a couple folks from the RSBA from Radcliffe that came in and was able to do a proclamation and provide that to them as a reminder, really, that we have a huge number of small businesses in Hardin County. I was able to put out a note about it. I just wanted to take a moment and remind all of us about our small businesses in Hardin County and that we need to support them. Just a reminder that they aren't just shops. They're dreams built from hard work, determination, and love for our community. And they are the coffee shop that knows your order, the boutique that greets you by name, and the family-owned store that's been there for generations. And the Small Business Saturday, let's choose to shop local, as we need to all year round. Every purchase you make is more than a transaction. It's an investment in your neighbors, your town, and the future we share. So every dollar spent locally helps a family thrive. Every gift bought here strengthens our hometown, and every visit reminds small business owners that their work matters. So as the holidays approach, let's celebrate by giving back to those who give so much to us every single day. So let's shop small, support local, and build community. So it's just a reminder again that we have a huge number of small businesses and they need our support. It's become very easy to go to Amazon and push a button and it shows up at our door. And those dollars don't generally stay in Hardin County. So let's take a little extra effort and try to find some items here in Hardin County that we can purchase during this holiday season especially. All right. Just a note too on that for those that are interested, we have a pretty big event coming up with the ambulance, the 9th ambulance that we're going to celebrate really at White Mills Station of the West Hardin Fire and Rescue. And we're going to have a ceremony there, a push-in ceremony on Monday, December 1st at 8:30 at White Mills Fire Department Station. So we'll be there, and that's if anybody's interested and wants to join us and celebrate that and commit to really be part of history, for that part of the county. So pretty excited about it, and if anybody wants to come, please come and join us on Monday. Now, if we have some snow or ice and things that are unsafe, then we will put that off until Friday, December 5th at 8:30. So just kind of keep track of what's going on there, and we'll put out if we need to change that date. But if it's raining or just kind of a dreary day, we'll still have the ceremony whenever we get there. And it won't be long. It'll only be probably about a half an hour or so. All right, I think that's all the comments I have, so we'll move on to the next agenda item. It is to approve Hardin County Fiscal Court minutes from November 10th, 2025, and I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll have a roll call.
Squire Clem.
Yes.
Squire Hicks.
Yes.
Squire Muse.
Yes.
Squire Pennington.
Yes.
Squire Saltzman.
Yes.
Squire Thompson.
Yes.
Squire Whitehead.
Yes.
Squire Yates.
Yes.
Judge Hall.
Yes, motion passes. All right, next we'll move on to some presentations. We'll start out with EMS, Mark Peterson.
Good evening. I've
evening.
got the October activity report for Hardin County EMS. Call volume, we were dispatched on 1,371 runs. We responded to 1,363. 8 of those were transfers, and 132 of those were non-billable runs. And this is a look at our year-to-date data. We are 1 run up from 911 runs as of this time last year. So 5,373 dispatches and 5,335 911 responses. Mr. Saltzman's slide here, a breakdown of the responses by unit and their jurisdiction. Collections, we collected $627,923 last year. That is up from last year, which was $562,000. Here's a comparison of the run volume versus revenue. And then fiscal year to date, we're at just shy of $2.5 million in collections, up from $2 million this time last year. And again, a comparison of collections to volume. I would also like to add to the judge's sentiment about the pushing in ceremony on Monday morning. For those of you that may not know where Little White Mills Fire Department's house is at 9225 Sonora Harn Springs Road, 8:30 Monday morning. We'd love to see you all there. Any questions?
Mark, I just want to say, I'm sure many of y'all heard about one of our local police officers, Lieutenant Holman.
Yes, sir.
Had a cardiac event a couple of weeks ago, I guess it is now.
It was last weekend maybe, or the weekend
Yeah,
before?
it was
Yes,
Saturday,
sir.
last Saturday. And our EMS personnel did a fantastic job and saved Lieutenant Holman's life.
Yes, sir, they did.
So, good job to them.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Any other questions?
Good financial report, too.
Yes, sir. I'm pleased with it. Very pleased with it. All right. Y'all have a good Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, next up, E911, Mike Leo.
Security alert. Fitting.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Here we go. I'm here to present the activity report for the 911 Center for the month of October. 911 calls answered, 4,445, 10,233 CAD reports created, answered 5,738 administrative calls, dispatched 1,384 EMS runs, 442 fire runs, and handled 2,340 attempt to serve prisoner transport and traffic stop type calls. This shows the calls for service by agency, to EMS at 33.9%, followed by Radcliffe Police at 26.4%, Sheriff's Office 21.6%. And the other agencies we provide dispatching services to, you can see their percentages there. Fire runs by department, Elizabethtown at 35.5%, Radcliffe 19.2%. You can see the remainder of the fire departments and their percentages there. Calls transferred to secondary sites, total calls transferred 893, 700 to E-Town Police, and 193 to the State Police. That's all I have. Any questions for me?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate the report.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Okay, and there's an additional written report by our clerk, Brian Smith, that's included. All right, we'll move on then to any citizens' concerns or comments. Do we have anyone that wants to comment or have a concern that they want to? Please just come up here to the microphone. If you wouldn't mind just to state your name.
Good evening. I'm Bob Baker. I'm here tonight representing Bucksnort Long Hunters. I have the president and vice president with me, but they decided for me to get up and speak tonight. Thank you all. Our concern is possible sale of the landfill area adjacent to our Bucksnort area that we lease. Our concern is that if the state would get it or something of that nature, that we could be at some point stopped from doing our functions that we do down there as a club, long rifle, flintlock, black powder shooting club is what we are. And we've been down there for 26 years. I didn't see it till yesterday that this was coming up on the agenda. So we gathered together yesterday and last night and decided we need to be here tonight and just voice our opinion that we're not for it to move forward with that sale. More input would be great if we knew what was going on a little deeper probably, but we don't, unfortunately. Again, thank you all very much.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, seeing none, we'll move on then. So we'll move on to this resolution. This is Resolution 232 related to approval of Pearl Hollow land sale. And I just want to give some explanation of what this actually is before we move into whether further discussion about it, because there may be some confusion about it. A little bit of explanation. The property that we are looking at to transfer over to the Kentucky Heritage Land Trust is not part of Pearl Harbor landfill area and is approximately 193 acres. It's on the east of the Blue Line Stream, whereas the landfill area is west of the Blue Line Stream. It is currently a buffer area, and it will remain as such with the transfer to the Kentucky Heritage Land Trust. The property has already been identified as endangered bat habitat, which comprises approximately 162 acres of the 193 acres. These endangered bat species were captured and identified by a consulting firm when the landfill was first sited at this location. The proposed transfer of the property is to the Kentucky Heritage Land Trust in perpetuity to be combined with the Vernon Douglas Nature Preserve, which is adjacent to it. The Land Trust received a grant for $1 million to purchase land for conservation from the Kentucky State Legislature, and the trust allocated $500,000 for this addition to the Vernon Douglas Nature Preserve, which was commissioned back in 1992. This 730-acre preserve protects one of the most mature second-growth forests in the Knobs region. Vernon Douglas State Nature Preserve supports an array of spring wildflowers, stands of sugar maple, beech, and tulip poplar, has about 4.5 miles of hiking trails over uneven terrain, and is said to be good for nature study and for birding. Kentucky Nature Preserves intentionally keep trails away from the property lines to protect the hikers and neighboring properties. The Vernon Douglas Nature Preserve was recognized as being a part of the Old Growth Forest Network in 2016. The Old Growth Forest Network was created to identify a forest in each county which will remain in a natural condition and is open to the public. It is the only national network in the United States of protected old-growth native forests where people of all generations can experience biodiversity and the beauty of nature. There are only 6 counties in Kentucky in the Old Forest Network, and of course we are one of those 6. The Kentucky State Nature Preserve will protect the land without using the resources of Hardin County government and relieve the county of any future liability. The trail system is limited to foot traffic only, and visitors must not reroute or shortcut the existing trail system. Any person in violation of the state regulation may be liable for a civil penalty of $1,000 per day. I propose that the net proceeds, which would be $500,000, would be used toward some needs that we have in emergency medical service, equipment needs, or county fire service needs in the future. And just a couple of notes about some more recent things that we've looked at. The proposal, one of the items of the initial assessment of that land was that some of it was prime farmland. And so we will, after looking through that, we will hold approximately 17 acres of the northern section of this land, which is prime farmland, and we will take that out of the acreage. And we'll go ahead and sell the remaining 12 acres of non-prime farmland to the Kentucky Heritage Land Trust. Also proposed to hold approximately 16 acres of prime farmland in the southern section, and we would sell about 7 acres of prime farmland that is really not accessible. It'd be like selling that acreage and taking a donut, out of it, or taking a hole out of it and saying, we're going to hold that out. So it didn't really make sense to those 7 acres to remove those from this. So that approximately 139 acres are non-prime farmland, wooded areas, and pretty hilly areas. The acreage is subject to a survey, which hasn't been done yet, and extra acreage will be carved out to make sure that the landfill permitted area is excluded and that there will be extra buffer space carved out for the bucksnort lease to satisfy any safety concerns there. This leaves currently about 158 acres that we would propose to be transferred over to the Kentucky Heritage Land Trust. Okay, so I think that covered several of the issues that we were talking about. Let me go ahead and mention two that is part of this resolution that we are looking at here. And just kind of read most of this so that everyone knows what's going on. So this is a recommendation to negotiate the sale of the property known as Hardin County Fiscal Court property, 158 plus or minus acres, located at Audubon Trace. Okay, it's got a deed number to it and everything. And this agreement would pay the full $500,000, $500,000, whatever the acreage turns out to be. It's our request and requirement really from them is that they would agree to pay us $500,000 total. They would have to find the money to also pay for the survey. The survey costs would not come out of that. Be it further resolved to authorize Judge Executive to negotiate the additional terms and conditions as to the surveyed areas to add additional buffer zones around the sheriff's firing range and the Bucksnort leased area to the satisfaction of both parties. Be it further resolved to authorize Judge Executive to obtain written assurances that the state would not seek to shut down the firing range if the property is sold. And be it further resolved, upon successful negotiation of the additional terms and conditions stated above, that the Judge Executive will present the revised offer to the county attorney to review as a legal form and then present to fiscal court for approval for execution of the contract. So I just want to make it clear that what we're looking at today is that this resolution does not commit fiscal court to sign this current contract that was attached to it. That was the one that was provided to us, and we had problems with it. We've spent several months trying to work through what we can do about that. But if we do approve this resolution, it is basically an agreement that we will, if they meet all these stipulations and they change the contract, that we will be ready to sign it. So the idea here is that, you know, do we have enough support to move forward with the negotiations and see if they will agree to these things? And that will take some time, take some effort to do all of that. And if we do, then we'll proceed with that and see if they will. There's no guarantee that they will, you know, agree to do all these things. So if they don't, then the contract, then it'll just die, and we won't have anything to work on. However, if today we don't have enough support for it, then of course we'll just go ahead and let them know that, and they'll move the money to somebody else or another project in the state of Kentucky. So that's pretty much what it is. I just wanted to make sure that that everybody understands that we're not committing ourselves really unless all these stipulations are met. And even then, we would have another opportunity to talk about it. But I would hope if we have the support today and they do meet the stipulations, that we wouldn't change our mind and not go ahead and move forward with it once we have a contract that's acceptable. Okay, so that's really what we have today, and I'll just see if we have a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
It's moved and seconded. So now we have some time of discussion.
Yes, Judge.
Yes, sir.
So we've had numerous meetings concerning the sale of this property around the landfill. Countless hours of county employees' time have been put into this, as long as members of this court have put several hours into it, which also equates to countless amounts of money. I hope that once this vote is final, that we can put this just as much energy and effort into balancing our budget as we have trying to sell this land.
Okay. Anybody else?
My sentiments pretty much echoes to some degree what Master Yates said, but we've said many times as a court, at least the majority, that we're really not interested in selling any of the land surrounding the landfill. We had one vote on another piece of land that did not prevail, and now we're here again with another option. We've got a $200 to $250 million asset in that landfill, and I don't think anyone that's serving on this court should want to make a decision that could ultimately diminish the value of the landfill. And I've said it many times in our committee meetings, and in the last time we had this vote, anytime we decrease the buffer zone, we're pulling these alleged bats closer to the operation of the landfill and thereby exposing the landfill operation to some potential decision in the future by some environmentalists at the state level to come in and say that you're messing with the bats. So we need to either alter the operations of the landfill or change directions of something that's going on in the landfill. We ran into that the last time when we sold timber, when we harvested the timber. We had to do it at certain times, and it made it difficult to get it done. So we're at the mercy of the state of anything we do. If they discover that there's a bat, say the bat comes close to the Bucksnort guys. We all know what environmentalists can do. They can shut down a whole operation. There have been many millions of dollars of projects that's been involved in across this country that's been stopped because of finding a lizard or a mouse or something that they think is endangered. So I just don't think it's something that we need to decide to go forward with. I came across a little quote yesterday I think is very pertinent to this situation. It says, "The most valuable math you can learn is how to calculate the future costs of your current decisions." Think about that. Our current decisions and the future cost. That's all I have, Judge.
All right, thank you. Anybody else?
I wanted to note, I think we've discussed this several times. And one big thing that Fred had kept mentioning is potentially not even discovering a single bat. So if this species that's endangered is no longer endangered because they don't exist because they're extinct, what does it do to that zone, right? Can that zone come away? Can we use it? And I think that has value into that land right there. Plus, we've also discussed how the land itself, that the timber that the bat zones are, that there are opportunities to harvest there, but it depends on the time, and there are fees, and there might be an opportunity to make some money there. Ultimately, my biggest qualm with this is like Chris had said, we've discussed this 5+ times, and I don't think at any one of those times there's been any unanimous support in moving forward. And I just think that the amount of time and effort that we've been putting into this could have been balancing the budget or finding other revenue sources elsewhere, finding ways to make it work. So that's my opinion. I just think that, there's comments of, well, people aren't allowed to get off the trails that are there. Well, there's laws that people break every single day, and I'm pretty sure our county attorney is used to that, but that we're just getting them closer and closer, like Fred keeps saying, and that's a huge concern. I know the sheriff expressed some concern about the range, and that's an asset to the county that we can't jeopardize either. So just for all those reasons, this is still a continued no for me.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'm going to have to agree with Magistrate Pennington and Clem and Yates. I feel the same way. I want to ditto those remarks. Don't think we should start splitting up property at the landfill and start guessing with a crystal ball what might or might not happen in the future as far as the bat habitat. And we can't guarantee the safety of anyone at this point. And it does serve as a buffer at this time. And that's the importance of it. It's a buffer, and we need that. And I realize that the state cannot do anything with it either because it is a nature preserve, okay? But I just don't feel like this is the time to start guessing what might happen in the future with the sale of this property. I'm opposed to it, and for the same reasons as those magistrates that have spoken out.
Okay.
One more thing real quick. I know we discussed, even when the bike trails were looking at different options, we discussed the old landfill. And I know there's land that's sitting there that I propose that maybe we look at utilizing that land to utilize this grant or this money for land that truly is sitting there, no access. And I know that Brenda Douglas had public access, but if they're looking for other sources of just land to preserve, that's more ideal, in my opinion, because it's still our land, but it's sitting next to already another preserve. So my suggestion would be look for sources like that to utilize that money for.
Okay. Anybody else?
Yes, my thoughts on this are, the landfill is the only money-making operation in county government other than taxes, and I don't want to do anything to jeopardize that money-making mechanism that we have in place. So I am a no.
Okay. All right, thank you. Anybody else?
And I'll be voting yes, because I don't believe selling this land to the Kentucky Heritage endangers our landfill. It's a buffer. With the Heritage, it'll remain a buffer. Agreed, it won't be between two different things, but it's still a buffer. And we put in a bunch of stipulations that's supposed to guarantee the rifle range, a shooting range. And if, and I don't even know if they'll agree with that. I kind of have my doubts, but if they were, it is $500,000. I know some people, that doesn't solve our budget, but $500,000 helps. And I'm hearing we need to do other things to generate the revenue, but I haven't heard of what we're going to use that land to generate the revenue with. If there are, then let's proceed with whatever you can do to do that. If it's harvesting the timber or quarrying underneath, whatever, but we haven't moved to do any of that I know of. So that's my thoughts.
All right, thank you. Anybody else?
I guess I should just share that I believe it has been an investment in our future to have that property for ourselves as a county, and to sell it, in my mind, is not looking toward the future. We don't know the possibilities that are there. I think the land is invaluable, even though it may appear to be, quote, useless except for a preserve. I hesitate to ever look at turning land over to a government agency that's larger than Hardin County. And I will share with you that the feedback that I've heard from voters is in opposition to the sale. But that will be my position also.
Okay. Anybody else? I think we just about covered everybody. Okay. Larry, do you have anything?
Well, I was kind of staying neutral on this. I mean, I would be in favor of selling it. I'd be in favor of not selling it. But what I've seen with the opposition here today, I would say let's just take it off the table and forget about it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I will make just a couple comments, because I think even though we have talked about this, the total land mass out there quite a bit since the first of the year, and we did make a decision then to not sell that on the other side of the landfill. But this land that was on this side was not part of any permitted area. It's not part of any agreement with Republic. So this was a different project, and this, of course, was very much, there had a lot of interest then from this entity there in Frankfurt to add to their preserve. So I don't think that we've put a massive amount of time and effort into this particular piece of property. And whenever you get offered $500,000, then, I feel like you need to take a look at it. And I feel like we have, and it looks like we are, we'll go ahead and vote here in a moment, but it looks like we're not going to proceed with it. And so that's fine. I just wanted to make sure that we did our due diligence And because, the budget is tight, and $500,000 is $500,000. And it's also, the other side of it is that you have a preserve that would take care of that piece of property forever, and it would, it would just be part of that park system for Hardin County. So, given all that, I don't think I'm changing anybody's mind, so we'll just move on to a vote.
Squire Clem,
No.
Squire Hicks,
Yes.
Squire Muse,
Yes.
Squire Pennington,
No.
Squire Saltzman,
No.
Squire Thompson,
No.
Squire Whitehead,
No.
Squire Yates,
No.
Judge Tall.
Yes, motion fails. All right, we'll move on then to the consent agenda. And so I'm just going to review these items. The first 4 items are all financial, the typical things that we have on there. The next, which includes Resolution 220. The next one is Resolution 221, and this is related to approval of Foxwood subdivision, and we're bringing that into our county maintenance system of roads. Items 220, Resolution 222 is the approval of a library appointment for Kevin Addington to be added to that board. And Resolution 223 is approval of Hardin County Extension Board appointments for Brandon Thompson and Val Hicks. The next 3 items are 224, 225, and 227, all dealing with various personnel changes in 911, EMS, and the road department. Next item is Resolution 228. It's related to approval of Vertiv Maintenance Agreement, which is a battery backup maintenance agreement. And we have item 229, or Resolution 229, related to approval of Hardin County Crime Stoppers Affiliation Agreement. This is a 2-year agreement that needed to be re-signed. The next 2 items, Resolution 230, related to approval Stryker Agreement for a ProCare Power Load Service Plan. And so this is a maintenance agreement and a service agreement, $23,000 approximately. And then another one with Stryker, this is Resolution 231. This is, again, EMS equipment service plan for Lucas and LifePack field repair service plan, and this is about $26,000. And the final 4 items are all approval of the 4 committee meetings that we had this month. Okay, so those are all the items in the consent agenda. Does anyone disagree with or want to remove any of these items? All right, hearing none, then we need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, and a roll call, please.
Squire Clem,
Yes.
Squire Hicks,
Yes.
Squire Muse,
Yes.
Squire Pennington,
Yes.
Squire Saltzman,
Yes.
Squire Thompson,
Yes.
Squire Whitehead,
Yes.
Squire Yates,
Yes.
Judge Tall.
Yes, motion passes. All right, that brings us to our comment time. County Attorney, do you have anything?
I don't.
Okay, County Clerk?
I'll just share a couple of election-related deadlines and dates that are coming up. As you know, 2026 is an election year. The filing deadline for those offices that will have a primary is January 9th at 4 p.m. And thanks to my local, Faithful app, that's 44 days, 21 hours, and 50 minutes from now. Not that anyone's counting. If you're filing for an office that does not have a primary, the deadline is June 2nd, also at 4 p.m. And if you're not sure which offices do and do not have a primary, that information is available on the clerk's office. As we get close to the end of the year, I will be repeating this at every meeting. December 31st is the deadline to change your party affiliation in order to vote in the party primary in 2026 of your choice. So it's a good time. If you haven't looked at that lately, you can visit govote.ky.gov, or you can come to the county clerk's office. Also, if you have moved since the last time you voted, go to govote.ky.gov or come to the clerk's office and update your address. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Move on to our magistrates. Magistrate Yates.
So I guess you're about 44 hours, or 44 days, 21 minutes, and
49 minutes.
21 hours and 48 minutes probably now away from your fund to really begin, right?
We've already begun work. The County Board of Elections has already been working on the 2026 plan. If you liked where you voted the last time you voted, that place will be available again in 2026.
Appreciate all your hard work. Thank you. Want to remind everyone the Emergency Service Committee meeting is at 3:30 on December 11th. And I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. I hope you get to spend it with friends and family.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Saltzman.
Yes, I just wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And if you have family still around, hug them close and tight. And if not, my thoughts and prayers are with you. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Whitehead.
Just a reminder about the Resources and Community Support Committee meeting, Monday, December 15th at 3:30. I want to talk about the property taxes for those that want to take advantage of the 2% discount. On your card that you got in the mail, it says November 30th. However, since the 30th falls on a Sunday, you do have until December 1st to pay those taxes and take advantage of that 2% discount. And happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Be blessed and spend your holidays with family and loved ones and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Magistrate Clem.
Yes, Finance Committee meeting will be December the 12th at 3:30 across the hall. And I, too, want to wish everyone a blessed and safe Thanksgiving. And please don't drink and drive and text and drive. Thank you.
Thank you. Magistrate Pennington.
Just want to say happy Thanksgiving.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Thompson.
Happy Thanksgiving. Be thankful. We have so much to be thankful for. This county, the area that we get to live in, we truly are blessed beyond what is imaginable. So be thankful, bring joy.
Thank you. Magistrate Hicks.
I just want to wish everybody a Thanksgiving, not only here in Hardin County, but all around the world. And I just hope we take time out that day to thank who is that we need to thank, that be thankful to. And I hope and pray that there's no child that day has to go hungry.
All right, thank you. Magistrate Muse.
Like to remind everyone, the next Public Works Committee meeting is December the 10th at 3:30 across the hall. And I hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving.
All right, thank you. Also, a reminder for next fiscal court is Tuesday, December 9th at 3:30 p.m. And I, too, want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving, a safe one if you're traveling. And also, just a note, too, that this building will be closed on Thursday and Friday of this week. But as a parting, just note on just a gratitude that I have. I was thinking through this some, and of course, I always start with my gratitude to my God. In Psalm 136:1, just one verse here, was said, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever." So I thank him. And I'm very thankful for my wife, my family, and friends, and all their support. To my church, it means a lot to me, and their support. And I want to thank Fiscal Court and all that, we have our differences and we struggle at times, but I am thankful for each person on this court and all the offices and the sheriff and the mayors, all the people that are serving in this county. I do have a deep appreciation for each one of you. And to our community, of course, all of our, I'm very thankful for Hardin County and the people that, as I go around the county, and there's just so many people that are giving of themselves and are serving others and helping each other. And I don't want to forget my staff and every employee here. You know, these are folks, these first responders, you know, that are running into the fire, right? And so they're taking care of us in our time of need, and those that are working on our roads, and just all the things that we take care of as fiscal court. So I'm just very grateful, and as we move into the Thanksgiving season here. So thanks, everyone, and I guess we are ready to adjourn. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Okay, moved. Second.
I got Squire Yates as a move.
Second.
Second by Pennington.
Second, okay. Any objections? Hearing none, meeting is adjourned.